Welcome to Wraparound the World, where we explore the incredible journey of wraparound from its origins to its global impact. Join us as we delve into personal and community stories, meeting powerful individuals, families, and communities who have been transformed by this powerful approach.
In today's show, we welcome Jordan Langford, a Wraparound Field Coordinator with the state of Oklahoma. Jordan, a champion for children and families, shares how he came to find, understand, and master the concepts of wraparound.
In this discussion, we explore how he and the other statewide coaches are supporting fidelity to practice and positively impacting outcomes for children, families, and communities. First of all, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Thank you for prompting that.
Let me try that again. Thanks for coming. It really means a lot. Not just coming and presenting at the workshop, that you did, but also coming to be part of the podcast and also just the work that you do, man. It means a lot. So why don't you start? Let us know who you are and kind of some of your journey.
That's good. So my name's Jordan Langford. I grew up in Oklahoma, lived there my entire life. Actually went to college first off to be a chiropractor.
Really?
And then things didn't work out with organic chemistry.
It's a killer. That
went to
organic
backup.
chem.
Yeah, went to my backup, which is psychology, and that's kind of how, because I always enjoyed figuring out how or wanting to know why people did some of the dumb things that they did. And again, I was in college, so that was just going and doing dumb things in college.
Sure, yeah.
And so it really got me started, just kind of that curiosity, that little itch of just wanting to know more about people, they've experienced and what's been going on with their lives. And so I went through undergrad and got my bachelor's in psychology. And first job right out the gate was a job working at an alternative school.
Yeah.
And
you dove right in.
Oh yeah, right in. Every kid was slapped with ODD, and they did holds there. this was 2012.
Right. So oppositional defiant disorder and a lot of hands-on,
yeah, monitoring of children, and we did that with elementary age kids, so 5 to 11, 12, and then we also did it with middle school kids, so up to 18.
Wow.
And like I said, every one of them had opposition defiant disorder as a diagnosis, whether it fit them or not. They were the kids that couldn't be in school or in the classrooms because they were too disruptive, they were too combative, they were too much.
Yeah.
So that's just where they threw them. And yeah, the holds were pretty intense. The first 2 weeks I wasn't even trained to do holds. So one of the bigger elementary kids, he probably came up to my chin. He's a big 12-year-old, would just waylay on me. Because he knew I couldn't do anything. He knew I couldn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't trained to do holds, so I wasn't able to do anything. But yet I was still there to, monitor him and keep him in the timeout room, which was conveniently located next to the classroom where they did all the schoolwork, and was not soundproof at all. So I'm pretty sure there was no learning that actually went on in the classroom. But yeah, that was my first job.
Wow, yeah.
So
how'd you end up getting into wraparound? Why didn't you stay?
Oh, well, so I got laid off because it was the summertime and they already had, I had been there the longest, so I was making the most. And so they laid me off. And so I bounced around jobs, found myself in the oil field, worked there for about 8 months. And then it did what it always does. It's just tank. Yeah. And everybody starts laying off everybody. And so I worked there for 8 months and then found myself at a local agency. I just put my name in to be a direct care provider for the inpatient facility that they had there, and the HR representative that reached out to me was like, "Hey, you actually qualify for a better paying position, and where you're not having to, you have better hours, you're not having to be there overnights, and it's a lot more of a calmer setting. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm interested. So I interviewed for it, and got it, and that was my beginning journey in wraparound as a care coordinator.
Wow.
And
So you fell into wraparound.
I fell. Yeah, I was searching for anything and everything, trying to grasp, just something to hang on to that would be a good, solid job, and something that was back in my field, back in my where I got my degree.
Yeah.
Because even the oil field, they're like, yeah, we don't really care. We just want you to have a degree.
I
It's like, okay.
You keep saying oil field, and I'm like, oil field.
Yeah. It was a wild ride. It was funny. When they interviewed me at the oil field, they were like, okay, so it's kind of rough out here. I was like, listen, I just came from an alternative school.
Yeah.
I was like, if they can be more creative with their language than those kids, I'd be surprised. It goes,
That's
well,
funny.
good. Well, good. There's a lot of colorful folk out here. I was like, I bet there is, but bet they don't hold the candles. Candles light to it.
So you've been doing wraparound how long now? And talk about your journey.
Yeah,
And
so
your
I
role?
started in 2016 at that local agency, and to be honest, I didn't know what I was doing for a good probably 8 months.
You're not the only one.
I know.
That's a
I know.
good start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Yep. Now I train wraparound. I always tell people, I was like, give yourself a good 4 to 8 month buffer.
Yeah. Can you
Because
hang in until
yeah,
you know what you're supposed to do?
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, and that's when a lot of like organizational things happen, a lot of time management things happen, because a lot of agency things as far as treatment plans need to be updated, and their S&CDs need to be updated, and crisis plans need to be looked at. All of these things happen at like that 6 to 8 month mark. So yeah, no, you're responsible for it all, and you know your job, but you don't know the finer intricacies of it. So yeah, it was definitely hard, for me, especially the notes. I was really bad at notes, just terrible at notes. I would wait until the end of the
It's all the
month.
technical stuff.
Yeah, it was the stuff that needed to happen,
Yeah.
but I have it locked in my brain. Now, I have a great memory,
Sure.
and so I have it locked in my brain. So I would never like do it, or I would just spend a lot of time off the clock. I would spend a lot of time off the clock, putting in notes and getting
Playing
everything
catch
done. Yeah, playing catch up. But as far as wraparound, I loved it. Loved it. It made sense. It clicked. And I love for our agency, we had a strict adherence to the fidelity of wraparound. Um, and so it was intense. It was a lot.
Yeah.
There was a lot of families that needed a lot of help, and I mean, it didn't matter. And that was another thing too. I learned so much within the first year
Yes.
of working like in community mental health, about myself, about people, about man. It was a wild ride. It was a wild ride. I did direct care as a care coordinator, for a year, and what that entailed was reaching out to a lot of. This is another thing. I don't know if I ever told you this. I didn't have an FSP.
Okay.
It was just me.
You were doing it solo.
Yeah. Just
So you didn't have
No-
a family support
No
partner?
partner.
Okay.
nope.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did that change? Did it change?
It changed probably 10 months in.
Okay.
They got me an FSP,
Huh.
and it
For
lasted
almost a year.
Yeah.
You were solo.
hmm
Okay.
and it lasted for 3 months, and then she left to go to a different agency. And so they were
gosh.
just like, we're just going to leave you solo. You were doing all right before. And I was
Wow.
like, okay.
Huh.
So that was my first dive into
Gotcha.
wraparound, was just trying to fill both roles by myself. And
It's hard to do.
it was really hard to do. Yeah, a lot of because I was just like a lot of care coordinators. You're green right out of college.
Right.
You have, I mean, you may have some life experience based on your own, but typically they don't.
Right.
They're 25, 26, 27, 24, younger, um, looking to get a job, looking to get their foot in the door, and green, just
Yeah.
green, green, green. And a lot of families were just like, well, you don't have kids. how can you do this work? How can you do and be
Mhm.
involved in like working with parents, work with everything else? Well, I read some books and I have some pretty good ideas about how I'm going to raise my kids. Also, I had fantastic parents. So I kind of have a good basis on my life experiences in
Yeah.
being brought up in rural,
Yeah.
as far as, giving some suggestions,
Sure.
maybe
Understand the
guiding
culture.
and seeing, I'm not opposed to trial and error.
Mhm.
And I mean, that's typically what you're doing a lot of,
Yeah.
especially in the implementation phase, is just a lot of rinse and repeat, trial and error, trying to see
Rinse
what
and
works.
repeat.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
just seeing what
Right.
works, and with it. So yeah, that's why I kept on coming back. I mean, it's why it's kept me here. It works, and I love it. I love my role now. I teach wraparound and some other modalities utilized across the country. And we also go to the different sites and we do coaching and technical assistance for them as well. So I get a little bit of that direct care itch
Right. Yeah.
scratched
Right.
whenever
Yeah.
I am able to go and shadow
Right. Sure.
and provide some feedback and just help and be as just a care coordinator again. It's like our agencies are now the families that I used to work with, as far as they have an issue. Well, I help them out and I try to help them
You
figure it
serve
out.
them like
Yeah,
you served your families.
and any agency issues that they have going on, I take a look at and see if there's something that we can figure out. Do some crisis plans, do some functional assessments, see what's going on, and yeah, then that's kind of what I do right now. So I still get a little bit of that, and
It's
I
important to
love
stay in
that part.
touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, you have to have the boots on the ground. You got to get in the trenches. You got to, especially in this field, because too many people they leave it and they're just like I don't know what happens. It's just like something clicks,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Attrition's a real
yeah.
big
Well,
deal.
I was just going to ask Jordan, what do you see as the future of wraparound? What do you
Yeah.
see?
Evolving.
Yeah.
Maybe even specific for like not just future globally, but like what do you see specific even for
For
Oklahoma?
you in Oklahoma,
Mm.
what you guys are doing.
I would love to. I know we talked a little bit about some of the stuff that other places have going on with incarcerated parents. Oklahoma is usually one or two in the state or in the country for incarcerated men and incarcerated women.
Mm.
We got a lot of families.
So you're starting to think about like what could we do there?
Hmm.
Like that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean it's a population that is extremely underserved, and we have so many.
There's a lot of research around recidivism and
Definitely.
wraparound. I mean, even specifically with those incarcerated family
To that
members.
population, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
and
go.
so that's kind of where I would love to see. I don't know if a position actually exists for that yet, but I would.
Hey, who knows?
Well,
We
it's
dream.
wraparound.
See,
If it's
exactly.
not there, we find
There
it,
you
right?
go.
And make it happen.
Build it and
Build it.
make it happen. Yeah, so that really sparked like starting to really
I
think.
could see the hunger. I
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you could
I
see it.
love that. I've
Really.
always thought about that because I just feel like you're saying, it's a really underserved
Yep.
population. And I think that too, with the values we bring with wraparound, that it could open a whole new door.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
For bridging that collaborative community, all of the things that I think are needed to
Mhm.
shift a great deal of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
no, I
definitely.
Maybe we'll have to have you come back on here
Definitely.
In a-
Yes.
in a year and see, or
See.
6 months, and kind of see maybe some early pilots. Or maybe you've already got some families that you're serving,
yeah.
or that maybe
yeah.
one of the members are incarcerated, and
Right.
maybe start thinking about it. Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, I just need to reach out to the right
Yeah,
people, see
hey.
what we're doing.
Well, and there's a lot of rappers around the world, and
Yes.
we know a few. There's a
Yeah.
few here today.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah,
With you for sure.
let's maybe you want to just take 1 minute, kind of say something. Make sure that if you have anything you wanted to make sure you say while you're on here, maybe that one thing you want to make sure you say. And if not, let's begin to kind of close out here. Anything else you just want to kind of talk about your journey or share with us about? your reflection on this thing we call Wraparound.
Don't underestimate resiliency. And I'm not just talking about your families. I'm not just talking about the people that you're working with. You got to build up your resiliency too.
Yours too. Take care of yourself.
I mean, it's a journey, and because we're all on it, that's a lot of common ground that we have. And to take a look at that and just keep that in perspective. It helps me suspend judgment. It helps me be able to meet, my people where they're at, to be able to work with them.
As Tracy says it all the time, be authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well said. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I think you have to, in this work, doing it well. It's key. It's definitely key.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right. Well, Jordan, thank you for coming on.
Much.
We're coming up with a shtick for the end of our show, a kind of slogan. We haven't decided on one yet. Is there something you think you want to close out our show with? A cool little slogan? No pressure. I appreciate it.
Man, I'm if I
Nothing's
come up with
coming
something,
up?
Yeah.
I'll text
Well, and
you.
you kind of already said it. Even you said resilience is real,
Oh, man.
and like don't underestimate.
you.
The power of yours and others, and maybe even just in our communities,
Mhm.
right? Like we've been through a lot, and we're still showing up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jordan. Well, thanks for coming in.
It's an honor, Jordan.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're real glad.
Definitely an
to
honor to have you. Yeah. Thank you so much. Appreciate you doing this.
Y'all take care.